bad. Please, everybody who has the camera on, turn it off. And only when you want to talk, turn it on. So we will use less information. Okay. Sorry for the delay. Is there anyone who would like to talk?
Good afternoon, Werner. Do you hear me?
Yeah. I'm come back. Hello, Udi.
Hi, good afternoon.
Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Oh, okay, fine.
Okay, this week you have talked to us and spoke about the chance for change.
Yes.
Inside of our life, inside of our mind. And my question is it a process of being silent inside of me, or there is a place for some practice, some meditation, some knowledge, some learning, or being quiet inside of ourselves and watching the change that can happen in this very, very active period of time?
Yes. I mean, it's an experience for everybody personal, but there is a change in energy all over the world. And the best we can do is to connect as good as we can with that inner silence. Of course, some meditation is helpful, but that doesn't mean you have now to sit down and meditate and do nothing else. Just live your life normally, but try to keep your mind from getting too much into agitations, into negativity, into worrying about what people are doing, but just bring the attention to the present and relax in that as good as you can. That's all we need to do. I don't know how long this is taking. It may take a long time. This may come very swiftly. I don't know. But something is happening, and the best we can do is not to resist and not to indulge into our petty little personal worries and all that comes along with it.
But it's look like I'm sitting with my hands open and my heart open, waiting for some change. And this is frustrating sometimes. And I think that being active and sitting and waiting is not so helpful.
Don't so much wait. Just be here now. That's the best you can do. And the things will happen all by themselves. If you put your mind on waiting and looking for signs and is something happening, then maybe that's not very helpful. Just be as good as you can, at ease, at peace, here, now. And then go about your daily life. You still practice your doctor profession, I think.
Yes.
Yes. So you continue doing your work, being nice with people.
But when you said be as good as you can be, what you mean about that?
That when you become aware that the mind is agitated and is running around unnecessarily, worrying about something that has happened, something that may happen, then you just let it go, bring the attention to the present, breathe deeply and relax. Be here, be now, and relax.
Thank you.
You're doing fine, Udi. Anybody else would like to talk? Many of you may have heard that message which I put on the Facebook last week, which I put on YouTube. That doesn't mean we have to sit here now and wait and see and be eager and look what's happening. But we can contribute in a most positive way by just being at ease, at peace, as good as we can, not worrying. And then the rest will be taken care of without our putting our mind onto it.
Werner?
Yes, hello.
Hi, it's Renat. How are you?
Quite fine. How are you?
I'm good, and thank you for all the help you're sending us. I have a question about emotions. I understand what you're saying about keeping quiet and waiting in a quiet kind of way. I think I understand, but I find that my emotions are very strong and they tend to disturb me in being able to be quiet, because I feel how I get scared or concerned or happy, doesn't matter what, but they're very strong. And I feel that emotions are essential to my ability to connect with people. So I'm not sure how to stay not so activated by the emotions on the one side, but connected to the emotions and to other people in the other side.
Yeah. It's not that you have to somehow try to suppress your emotions, but it's good that you are aware of the emotions. Most of the time we are not even aware, but tremendous emotions are coming and going all the time. And then when the emotions are there, instead of being totally swept away by the emotion, try to just observe. Let the emotion be there. Don't fight it. Don't try to suppress it. Even if it's an unpleasant emotion, then let it be there, but you watch what it is doing to you right now, what it is doing to your experience right now in your body, energetically. And then in that way, actually, when you're observing already, you become aware, but there is one part of me who is not affected by the emotions, that observing part. And then you just relax into that. And then the emotion come, stay a while and go, and they don't leave a trace. They are not the problem. In spite of the emotion, there is one part of you that is totally silent. Just learn to pay attention back to that as good as you can.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Where are you?
I'm in Israel.
Where are you? In Israel. Ah, yeah. Yeah.
Upstairs from Udi.
I see. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I see an R. Somebody wants to come in?
Hello, Werner.
Hello. I'm muting everybody, so unmute yourself again, because there are a number of mics are open. So I mute all. Ah, yeah. Now please unmute yourself again, because I muted everybody.
Okay.
Ah, I hear you. Yeah. Hello.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om
I have
Namah
a
Shivaya.
question.
Yes.
I feel very lucky to be there in India and very grateful to practice my sadhana here. But some people said I have an equal chance to realize the self if I will be in my Western country. Is it correct?
It doesn't matter. The people always talk about such things. You should be until you are always at the right place. Where you are, that's where you should be. And wherever you are now, that's the good place to be. So where are you now?
Actually, I am in Arunachala.
Oh, you are here. I see.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. And it's not that you should now run home because somehow that would be a special mystic for you in your home place. If you are here, then you are here, and then it's good to be here. Don't let your mind be disturbed by this kind of talk. People just have all kinds of funny ideas about this. Here, now, you are what you are. And if you happen to manifest right now at Arunachala, then that's the right place to be.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
It's a good place to be in this period.
Yes, it is.
Right. Okay.
Hello, Werner.
Hello, Nurchi.
How are you?
Oh, quite fine. How are you?
Okay, so I'm here stuck in Thiru, and there are a lot of other foreigners also stuck with me in Thiru, and they are planning to relax a little bit the lockdown that everybody is talking about.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of thoughts and maybe some few questions. What I see is there is a new world developing and a new way of life. The old way of life is dead and gone. And I think there are something like 47 or 48 or 49 other people on this video. And most of the people who I mingle with, the foreigners and the local, they are thinking that the old time is going to come in. They'll say things like, oh, when this lockdown goes away, we'll go back to normal. Now, I think they are only fooling themselves when they say that the old way will come back the normal way. And what I have started to believe is that the old way is not going to come back. There is a new wave coming in. There's a new spirituality awakening taking place, as you discussed last time. And there's a newer religion or something, NEO religion, whatever you want to call it, is happening within the youngsters. Plus, the damage that we oldsters, the current old way, the normal way has done to the world is gone too much, and it's nowhere possible to, sometimes I think it's possible to repair it, if at all. So that's the second question. And the final thing is, I don't see any hope in the future, because the 3 or 4 superpowers of the world are now at loggerheads with each other. So this thing that you're suggesting, that you should have positive attitude and give the positive energy, etc., I understand that and I agree with it at an intellectual level. But when I talk to, I teach at college of engineering, and when I talk to the students who are like 18 to 24 years old, they are knowing that going to college is going to be online, working is going to be online at home. So everything is changing now. So I thought I should share this and take your view and whatever things that you can add. Thank you.
Of course, people are hoping that once the lockdown is finished, that everything will go back to normal, and it will also go to some extent. It's not that we are now just entering a totally new world. These external changes also will happen gradually. But of course, it will be a new situation. This whole experience around the world, people staying home, it has marked humans. And people are more open for what is happening. But the changes I'm talking about, they are on a subtle level. And the external will gradually follow. people will try to go totally back to how it was before, and to some extent it will happen. But invariably, as things are changing subtly, externally, changes also will come. But there is no reason to despair or not to be positive, because it changes. Even sometimes it may be a bit turbulent for some time, but these changes, they are only for the better. That the society in which we have been living, which has brought us actually to the abyss of mass annihilation, this is going to change into a more comprehensive way of treating the situation, of treating nature. I'm sure once the resistance is not more there, new technologies will spring up that are environmental friendly. That the same things that we are doing so far, and they are always such a heavy weight for the world, for the environment, can be done in a way that is not always creating troubles, that we are not always creating more troubles than benefit. I don't know details. I don't know, I'm not a future visionary. I just feel deep down, without a doubt, subtly, tremendous changes are happening. And how long it will take that it's really manifesting, I don't know, but it's going towards the light. It's going for the better, even if for some time it may be difficult, period. So there is no need of being worried about it. Just be as good as you can in the present and watch the spectacle that is going to unfold.
Okay, thank you. So you, because one of the things, I'm more of a realistic person, and I see this going not for 1 month or 2 months, but for 6 months to longer, till we come up with a vaccine, which will be December the earliest.
Mm.
So you're looking at a long period, and I don't think most of the people that I talk to or interact are prepared to accept the reality that it's going to be 3 to 6 months, maybe more like 6 months. Like when I talk to my son, he was in a place and he came back on Friday, back to Washington, D.C., because he thought he'll go back to work on Monday.
Yeah.
So people are like blind as far as I can see. You know, they are standing on the beach there and a tsunami is coming and they choose not to see the tsunami coming.
Yeah.
And they would like to go back to work on Monday.
Yeah.
And I see that people are absolutely thinking that the old norm will come back soon. And the supply chain of the world is changed completely. And I say by supply chain means from the manufacturer to the user, there were certain steps that the things used to go through. And right now, almost everything that we buy in India is from China. Same thing in most of the countries. And unless we accept that the supply chain has been woken up, the dollar has gone to a very high because the oil prices are gone to a low. We are not using oil. The oil that is stored today in the tanks and the ships is unbelievable. It's 3-4 months of supply that we are holding right now.
Yeah.
Because we are not using the oil, and now we can't dump this oil into the sea, and at the same time we are producing more oil. So there are issues that are being created, and I'm sure the wise people and the people who are in the government in the world will look at it, but I don't see this ending for 9 months at least.
Yeah.
So I'm in Thiru and I'm decided that I'll stay here in Thiru.
Right, and I think that's a good thing to do, and don't you worry about the details, and I cannot give you answers about all these things that you have been talking about.
Correct.
I know
there are no
that
simple answers.
there is a good current here, and it may take months, it may take years, it may take longer, but gradually it will manifest and something more constructive can grow out of that. Until then, it may be a bit turbulent, but there's no point in worrying about that.
Right. It's outside of my control.
Yes. And what you cannot control, you better don't worry about it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Is there anybody else who would like to talk? If you want to talk, simply unmute yourself and put the microphone, the camera on.
Hari Om, Werner.
Hari Om.
Hari
Hello.
Om.
How are you too?
Hari Om. Hari Om. I don't have any particular question, but I really just felt the calling to speak.
Yes, please.
It was so nice to see Noor, who we met also in Tiru. So I just want to share the feeling you're trying to pass to all of us, which is a deep current of positivity and hope. And thank you so much for being part of that current, Werner. And I feel that connecting all together during this time is really one of the most powerful thing we can do. And so thank you to everyone for being here, and thank you to you, Werner.
You're welcome. Anyhow, we are always connected, but sometimes it helps if we have means like this now that we exploit them and we connect a bit more consciously. You said the current of which I'm part of, but not only I, but everybody and everything is part of that current.
Yeah, that's right. But sometimes yeah. But sometimes as part of the current, there's a significant, like a dolphin, jumping out, and we all see it, and we can know we are going the right way then. And feels
Be
like
happy
that.
about the whole thing. Huh? Anyhow, nice to see you too.
Yes.
Nice to see you.
Anybody else would like to talk?
Yes, Manuela.
Sounds like Manuela. There she is. Hello.
From Berlin, hello.
Yes.
So you mentioned some question before that when you talked about, the question was about emotions, strong emotions, and you said, yeah, there is this observer who is observing the emotions. Maybe I would like if you could talk a little bit about the observer, because I have often the impression that the observer is still a part of the ego.
Yeah, it depends how you are doing it. If you are observing as a person, then you are creating one person that is observing the other person. And both persons are creations of our mind. So try not to create an observer, a witness, but simply witness. Actually, this witnessing, this observing is happening all the time. There is that silent part in you, and from that perspective, that observing is happening all the time. So we don't have to create in the mind the me, now I'm observing, but simply try to shift the attention to observing. And then you don't feel that problem comes up, that the observer is a part of the ego. If we create an observer, then we have to create a new observer who is observing the observer. And then we have to create a new observer who is observing the observer of the observer of the observer. And so it goes on. So try to come back to simply observing, because it's happening anyhow. simply we are not aware of it. We are most of the time so totally absorbed in what we think about, in what we're perceiving, in our emotions, in the situations, that we are not aware that there is something silent there, that the observing is happening all the time. And if we open our heart, if we are opening our mind to that observing, then more and more that awareness comes. Oh, there is something simply observing. And if you deal with observing like that, you don't have the problem, you don't have the feeling. That's still a part of the ego.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Are you a bit through the lockdown in Berlin, or are you still obliged to stay at home?
Actually, here we don't have this like in France or other countries. So we can go out. We can go out for a walk. We can go out with little social distance, but only with two people. I mean, like two people can go out, but not in groups. But still here you can see mostly young people. They still hang around in groups, and they're coming a lot of police and checking this and telling them to stop being in groups. But now they start also with some school kids that they can go again. So they think about a lot to change a bit the lockdown slowly. So on Monday you can go to the hairdresser again. So
so everybody happy.
yeah, you can see here people with like men, they have usually short hair with really long hair, and a lot of people are quite happy to go to the hairdresser. It's funny, I thought if this is the only problem, then there is no problems, you know. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but for me is I have to go to work, so for me the change is not so big. A lot of people are in home office, but I have to go there, and yeah, so I go for walks with people, and so yeah.
It's all right. Okay. Bye.
Ariel, thank you.
Anybody else would like to talk?
Werner?
Yes, hear somebody.
Yeah, it doesn't show up.
Now I see you. Hello.
Okay. Hi. I have some more questions regarding all this thing people are talking about emotions. What you say about observing like that, it's very helpful. And sometimes people have advised me also to look at the emotion and fully accept it and be sure that you're not rejecting all this so-called shadow side. And sometimes people tell you to also investigate the emotion deeply to understand where it's coming from. Would you recommend to go that far, or just watch? Or how can you speak more on how to work with all these difficult emotions?
Yeah, I wouldn't go too much into the analyzing thing. Like, why did it rise? Where did it come from? What and what? Just be in the present and observe what it is doing to your experience right now. This is the most powerful way of dealing with it. But the first part you said is great. In order to be able to do that, you have to accept that the emotion is there. As soon as we are getting into resistance, that oh no, not this emotion, then we are totally into we are in a lockdown with the emotion. We are getting into a fight and feeding our vitality into the emotion, and it's getting bigger and bigger. But if you accept that it's there, then already that struggle drops away, and you can use your vitality to just observe what it is doing now. This is the most powerful way of going about it. If somebody really wants to analyze, let them analyze and look where they are coming from. And so if that helps them to keep their mind busy, okay, but I don't think it's necessary. You can, but you don't need to. Be here, be now, and see what it is doing to your experience now. Now it's real. Now it's alive. All else that is already against speculation again in the mind. Why did the emotion come? Finding reasons. Where did it come from? Just the emotion is here as an experience. It's simply a fact. The present experience is a fact, and resisting against that fact is always misery. So accept it's there, and then observe, and then it loses its overwhelming power. It will still be there for some time. Maybe if you don't resist for a moment, it's becoming even stronger. But if you keep on just watching what it is doing, it's just a moment that it appears like this, and then gradually it will go away. Then the next one comes, and you do the same with the next one.
Okay, thank you. And these emotions, some people also say that you should trust it sometimes because it's your intuition or it's some form of guidance. Should we trust these emotions sometimes, or always it's something that should not be given too much importance?
Should not be given too much importance usually. I mean, you can have intuition that comes, which is there prior to an emotion, which really comes out of yourself. And then it's possible that we get quite emotional about it. But then it's not really the emotion that is primary. That's the important part. But there is, because I don't have a better word, I say there is a feeling which is there prior to the emotion. And sometimes these feelings can make us quite emotional. But it's not the emotion that is the important part.
Okay,
So
but
don't start to try to every damn emotion that comes along, then we are getting totally lost in a jungle.
yes. But then there is some feeling, there is something that's truly coming from ourselves and from our heart that we should pay attention to and that we should trust.
Right. But somehow it should be natural. It should be there that everybody can trust it. But because we have learned growing up in this world not to pay attention, it seems like it's something new that we have to learn. So we have to somehow consciously open up to that and learn to trust it. And maybe for some time it seems a bit vague and you cannot really trust it, then don't try with the intellect to figure out too much meaning. But if you open up and learn not to push that away, but to listen to that, it becomes more and more spontaneous and clearer. It should
Okay.
be natural. But because we have learned to be not natural, we have to learn it again.
And would it be the same case, for example, with desire? Would it mean that most times desire is coming just from the ego that wants something, but other times it's coming from a deeper place that's truly guiding you somewhere, or it's always the ego?
No, it's not always ego. Sometimes a desire, a yearning for something comes, which is really pushing you in the direction in your life where you have to go, because that's what you came for. That's a lesson you wanted to learn. That's an experience you wanted to have. So you cannot say every desire that comes is totally the ego, but you can think any silly, momentary, superficial desire that comes is just a mind that pops up, plop, 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 this. But if you feel that push or that pull towards something, and you are not thinking about it, and I, the person, want to be excited only, then you can accept, okay, that desire comes from a deeper level. It comes from yourself, who came to this world and wanted to make certain experiences and wanted to learn certain things. And so it will push you and pull you where you should be and what you have to do.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anybody would like to talk?
Hello, Werner.
Yes, hello? Ah, hello, I see you.
Yes, I wanted to know if you can talk a little bit more about the silent part of ourselves and of silence in general, the inner silence. I feel in my practice I'm always trying to look for this inner silence, like going deep into that. If you can talk a little about that, please.
Yeah. Just as I said before, it should be natural. But unfortunately, we have learned to be unnatural. And so we longing for that silence because we know that if we basically rest into that, then life is so totally different. And then we look for that silence, we search for that silence as if it was somewhere else. It's not really that we have, it's not really that we have to somehow find it. It's simply that we have to become aware of all that unnecessary noise that we are making and then learn not to do that all the time. Become aware of what we are doing and learn not to do that all the time. And then it becomes so obvious that that silence has never been absent. It's against that silence we are aware, against the background of that silence, we are aware of all the movement, of all the sounds, of all that is happening. So it's never absent. And all we have to do is somehow, no matter what practice we are doing, that practice is just a help to turn the attention back to the source, to that which makes the experience possible. And learn to relax in it. Learn to let go, let go, let go, let go, relax. The practices are not there that we build up something, build up something, build up something, and then eventually we are breaking through into that silence. It has the side effect that practicing is building up energy. That is helpful, that is good, but it's not that we have to build up enough energy, enough power that we finally can break through something. It's not, there's no wall in between. It's not something we have to break into. It's there all the time. Simply, we have to learn to turn the attention back to that and make the attention subtle enough to become aware. It's here, it's now, it has never been absent. So the practices are helpful, but not with the idea, I practice, 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 and finally I get the reward of it. The practice is to help you in the present moment, because it's easier when the mind goes round and round if we can focus on something like a certain practice. But from here, when you have that focus in the present, all we have to do beyond that is relax. So in your meditation, in your practice, do your technique, do your practice, but relax. Relax in the present. And the silence is here. It's never absent. It can't be absent. But the noise can be absent sometimes.
Thank you, Werner.
You're welcome.
So Werner, I would like to ask you, Ramana have said once that the only teaching is by silence.
Yes,
So
it's
maybe
not
you
the
comment
only
about it.
teaching, but it's the powerful teaching.
Can you talk about it?
Yes. I mean, a being like Ramana, who is so totally immersed in that silence, and whether he is sitting on his sofa or whether is walking around, whether he keeps quiet or whether he talks to people, he is so totally immersed in that silence that the main part of his teaching was not what he was talking, but just his presence that he was radiating. And somehow it's so strong that even when you read like in the talks or in other books where they talk about the day-to-day life with Ramana, you can get a glimpse of that intensity that he has been manifesting there. Still, he was talking because human minds want answers. But all the time, his presence and people connecting with him and his presence was more important than the things that he said. That's also in the satsang. We are talking a lot, people asking questions. And when we sit here on the roof, there is something much more important going on than the questions and the answers, that we just sit here together and connect simultaneously on that silent level. And to some extent, we can even do it now on Zoom. It is a bit different than when we sit in the same space, but to some extent, it's still functioning. So that doesn't mean the talking is wrong. But the main part of it is connecting. And ultimately, connecting with your own self, with your own silence. But if you connect with somebody who is strongly connected, consciously connected with that silence, then that can be helpful.
And may I continue? I've read once that Ramesh said that he's not dealing with the observer, and he always asks himself, who care? And today, if I'm asking myself, who care deep inside myself, it's always come in junction with something, with another word. The one who is fighting, the one who hugging, the one who is caring, but he didn't meant to that. He meant to a different thought. The one who cares inside of us is something more global, is it?
Right. Yeah. Caring, there are two types, and it's confusing because different things are being called caring. I mean, we can care as a person, and then that caring usually is all the time worrying about something, worrying about this, worrying about that. But then learn not to care doesn't mean that we are just somehow creating a wall and shutting down. I mean, the drunk is getting to that point that he's not caring because he's so totally immersed in his own thing that he couldn't care less about anything else, but he's caring very much that he's getting his drink. If he's not getting that, then his uncaring is gone. But there is another way of not caring. That doesn't mean that you become insensitive, but you can become very aware of what's going on. You can be very aware of the people and their concerns and their petty little pains, but not care in the sense that I, as a person, start to worry about, start to be pulled into it, but just see that it is there without getting into that caring in the sense I should do this, I should do that. And then the actions start to flow spontaneous. And if we need to involve ourselves in a situation, then we just do it. And if we need not, then we don't do it, and don't let the mind start, but I should have, and start to have a bad conscience about it. It's the not caring can be on the one extreme of the one who is completely intoxicated and knows only his own petty little world, or the not caring can be of the yogi because he knows he doesn't need to care. There is that cosmic power there that is running the show, and we are not asked to care about every damn little thing that is happening, but just spontaneously deal with whatever comes up, and we are supposed to deal with it, and we know that we have to deal with it.
So both types of caring can be here and now.
Both types of caring can be
here and now.
Ah, yes, but the one is distorting the pure here and now experience. The one personal caring me, I as a person, then immediately I create that sense of separation, that I am here and the others are there, and this is good and this is bad, and I have to care about, I have to do this. And then I'm taking myself as a person very important and very serious there. And much too important and much too serious. Or then, if you see something and spontaneously respond to it, then there is not even that personal caring there. There is just the situation which you know asks for a response from you, without getting into the whole thing of I care about this and I have to do something about it, or over there or the other side of the world things are going wrong. These are the people caring about and putting a big weight in their mind, and it's not helping. It's not that they are doing something about it. It's just something that is always there, and one can think, oh, it's terrible, it's terrible. But if you learn to be carefree, then actually you become much more efficient in the here, in the now, in the situation where you are, to spontaneously respond to the situation in a creative way.
So this is the process of creating dualism.
To respond is the
so
process.
This can create from turning us from duality for what we call dualism, that it's part of our way to react. We are doing it as an action, the separation.
Right. But there is nothing wrong in the non-dualism with action. It's not that you have to now become a stone. A stone is not acting. Well, I think even a stone has connections and feelings. But don't be afraid of this. There is one strain of Advaita teaching going around, and they are always afraid, don't do anything, it's all doing, and don't do anything, every doing is wrong. There's nothing wrong with doing. It's simply wrong that you lose that centeredness, that you become the doer in the sense that you identify with the me, I'm the person separate from the whole rest. But then, as long as you are in this world, we are anyhow doing something all the time. The heart is still beating, we are breathing in, we are breathing out. As long as this organism is alive, there's a lot of action going on. And we can learn more and more in the same way as the heart is beating and the breath is going in and out. Let the actions take their course. And also put the enthusiasm into it when it's necessary. And it doesn't create the sense of separation. The duality and the non-duality, they are two aspects of the same mystery of existence. It's not that non-duality is true and duality is wrong. Both are aspects, two different aspects of the same mystery. And you can let them flow together and to work together. The thing is only that we become more and more aware that person that I think I am is just a role that I'm playing in this theater of this world. And then we can play that role. It's not that we have to stop all our activities, otherwise we're falling out of non-duality. You can continue to be a doctor. Anybody else would like to talk?
Yes, Werner.
Yes, hello.
Hello, Werner.
Hello, Cyril.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, do you think there is any, do you grow in meditation and you feel that the inner space is going wider and you feel more relaxed, and I mean the silence and especially the feeling of inner space get larger? I don't know how to describe it, but you feel it's more than, because this year I meditate a lot in Ramana Ashram, and when I came back here, I said, "Whoa! I have this feeling."
Yeah, yeah.
How far is it going? What is this?
But there is no limit to it.
Oh.
But I mean, it's, as you say, it's basically a feeling.
Yes.
Essentially, you don't change, but still something is unfolding. And sometimes you start to feel that, and then it feels like you're getting more spacious.
Yes.
And as you are getting quieter, this feeling will persist, and you feel more and more and more that you're getting more spacious. There's no limit to it. It's not, you asked how far is it going? It's going into eternity, into infinity. Don't be afraid of it.
Oh, no, I'm not afraid. I'm just surprised. I'm just surprised because the difference is, I just noticed.
Yeah, it's great. Continue like this. You're going in the good way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oops.
Hello, Werner.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm working in the last days with a sentence coming from one of the wise people in India, saying that it's when a baby is born, it's not that the baby is born into the world, but the world. So yeah, I'm challenged with this sentence. It's coming from
sorry.
Maharaj.
There was an interference. I didn't hear the whole sentence. Did you say that not a baby is not born in this world, but the world is born into the baby, or what did you say?
Yeah. It's not that the baby is born into the world, but the world is born into the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want.
Well, I mean,
could you enlarge it?
Yes, I mean it's a way of talking about something that cannot really totally be talked about. We are not really born into this world. This world is not as real as it appears. Once we are in it, then we grow up in it and develop our senses. and create our experience of this world. And because we believe it's so unchallenged, it appears to be so solid, so real, and we are sure I was born at that and that time, and I'm born in this world, so I'm incarnated. And then we start to think about past incarnations and future incarnations. But even now, you are not really incarnated. It's more like you are a divine being, and you decided you go for the ride of it into this world. And it's more that you projecting a part of yourself into this magic show that is appearing as a world. And there you go through all the stuff, play a bit along, and then you withdraw again. So it's not that you ever really were totally born into this world. It's just that you're projecting yourself in this world for some time and then withdraw again. And since you are not incarnated now, then it's also not really any past incarnation or future incarnation. It's a magic show. And you are a magician that is projecting himself into this world, learning, but then somehow the part of that magic is that once that projection is in place, there is that forgetting where we are coming from. And we start to identify with the projection, with the temporary projection of yourself. And then with that identifications, all the trouble comes. But nobody is really ever born and nobody ever dies. And so you can say the baby is not born in the world. Saying that the world is born into the baby is also simply indicating a mystery that cannot really be explained. It's neither the baby born in the world nor the world into the baby. This world is a magic show. It's a matrix. And consciousness is projecting into this matrix to learn, to grow, and to outgrow this level, to come out again richer for the experience. But at the same time, your divine nature is never really affected by any of this.
Okay, it's something to contemplate on.
Okay. Wish you well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Adios. Adios.
Adios. Adios.
I'm muting again everybody because a few mics are open. And if anybody wants to talk, you have to unmute yourself.
Hi, Werner.
Hello. Oh, hi. Hello.
It's me again.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I know. I'm just going to be as friendly as Manuela. I always look forward to listening to her questions. But I want to share something with you, Werner, because I met you on my last Tuesday before I left Tiruvannamalai towards the end of February.
Yes.
And just before that, on the Saturday, was Shivaratri, the Maha Shivaratri.
Maha Shivaratri.
Yeah. And late in the afternoon, I had a slip on my scooter, and I was like 2 seconds of being killed by a bus. And I've got the scar. I got the 4 stitches in my arm to prove it, because I was so lucky. Everything was slow motion. I could put my head away. The bus went past me, cut my arm open. It was the most incredible experience, and by the grace of Arunachala, I'm still alive.
Yeah.
And so I love listening to all the conversations, you know, duality, non-duality, you know, meditation, the meaning of meditation. And what I have with me right now, because I'm back in Sydney in Australia, thank God
Yes.
I'm alive still, is that there is an incredible inner sense of awareness that's beyond anything that I can possibly explain.
Yes.
I experienced this in Arunachala. I
Yeah.
experienced this as the bus was rushing past me.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it was a meditation in itself, this kind of slow motion awareness of time and space, you know, because the bus was going past me so slowly next to me and cutting my arm open. And it's like, I have a feeling somewhere deep inside me that there is some other energy going on. It's like, I don't know how to express it, Werner. I mean, I met you on the Tuesday. I had the stitches on my arms, and me meeting you on that Tuesday was the most powerful experience of my entire trip, actually. Because I felt this energy coming from you and that meditation session on your rooftop. And I still carry this within me right now in my backyard here in my house in Sydney. I still feel this energy. And it's like I'm trying to find the words, and you may have the words because you're a man who's, you know, been in these deep experiences, meditation experience that can maybe shed a little bit of light in terms of some kind of inner sense of awareness that has got nothing to do with this sort of meditation practices, non-duality, duality, Advaita, whatever. I think there's something beyond all of this, and I'm wondering if you have an opinion on that.
You're perfectly right. There's something totally beyond all of this. And absolutely nothing can be done about that. But what we can, what we can do is disturb ourselves, disturb our perception that we are not aware of it. And that's what everybody is doing most of the time. And actually, all our job is to become aware how we are disturbing ourselves and learn not to do that anymore.
Yes, absolutely correct. That's how I feel.
It's not that you have to, that it's not that you have that awareness you are talking about, that you have to somehow create it or reach it or anything. It has nothing to do with what we can do. But what we can do is become aware how much we get estranged from it, and then come back as good as we can to the first expression of it, the first expression of that mystery. And that first expression is pure consciousness, or pure energy, or pure love. The three aspects of the first expression. We can come back, we can do something about to come up to that point, and from there is simply to be open and available.
Yes, yes. That makes a lot of sense to me.
That's nice.
Werner, if I hope that I can ever travel back to India in the future, I know where I'm going, back to Tiruvannamalai, because a big part of my heart is walking around Arunachala every day. And then maybe we will meet again one day. But
maybe
otherwise,
we'll meet again,
all my love to you and to everybody in this room. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Would anybody like to talk? Cyril, your mic is still open. Please turn your mic, mute your mic.
It's closed. I closed it. It was closed.
Oh, I see. Then it shows in my thing that it was open. Then maybe it's a glitch here. Okay. Anybody would like to talk? Unmute the mic and turn on the camera.
Werner?
Yes. Hello? Ah,
hello. Hi. How are you?
Quite fine.
Good.
You are all in the dark. Do I know you? I don't see you quite well. Oh, and now I see you. Oh, hello. Okay. Yeah, it's all right. I didn't know with whom I'm talking, but now I saw you.
Just a minute. Is that better?
Yes, that's better.
It's nice. Sandra told me last week only that you were going doing satsang on Zoom, so it's very nice. How long have you been doing that?
This is only the 4th.
Oh, okay, that's very nice.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share something about. I went back to France just before the closing down of the borders. I was lucky enough, and I am here. I'm living in the north of France, in Brittany. I'm very isolated. Not only I am isolated because everybody is. I am very remote. I'm living in this small house in the forest, and I don't see anyone. Maybe every 8 or 10 days, I would go and buy stuff, buy food, and see a little bit of people. So even though I am used to solitude, it was quite a big thing. I crossed many different levels, and it's just wonderful. Even though it's a bit difficult, I would go through these layers of boredom and loneliness. But there is this kind of deepening in me.
That is this kind of?
Deepening.
Yeah.
And silence is growing, but it's rather like a silence growing in me rather than me going into silence. And
that's good.
yeah, it's quite surprising. And then since now it's spring and everything is beautiful, I would spend much time outside, and it seems to me that something changed in nature, and a little bit, well, let's keep it to nature. And at first I thought it was because there were a lowering of pollution, even though it's not very polluted around, but and after I thought it's because all this subtle energy of spring coming, and but it seems to me the more I go into this silence, and there is a little bit like an erasement of me as well. The more I watch nature, and the more I would become transparent, even if sometimes there's some noise in my mind, you know, like I already meet my lines in my mind, you know. I can see, I found my boundaries, and then it would be a bit tense at one time, and then it relaxes again, and silences even deeper. And what I clearly see now is there is it looks to me like there is a greater awareness in things, and I just wanted to ask you if you, because I'm not quite sure if it's me going into silence. Part of it is that, but I really feel like in the inanimate objects, I feel it the most, because in nature, of course, everything is vital and living. And, you know, I watch everything I watch around me, the walls or the stove or whatever. It looks to me there is a greater presence, but in terms of awareness, it's just like it's not only alive, it's more aware than it used to be. Do you see this?
Yes, yes, you are right. I mean, it's still up to you whether you connect with that. But I don't know whether you were already tuned in right in the beginning, but that's what you have been talking about, that there is really subtly a change happening. A change is going on. So, and our best way to tune into that is to be in your silence as good as you can, but then things just be into it and be carried by it.
Yes. And then it seems to me that it's a fantastic opportunity. You know, it's just like stepping in an elevator and going down and down and down and deeper. And it looks like something is really activated at this particular moment where all of us human beings are experimenting something really different. Like it feels like you know, it's easier. It's easier, like this gentleman was saying. He was sharing that for him, it feels like an expansion of awareness, of silence, and there is so much deepening as well, accessible. I mean,
and it's good. It's being made easier, but still we have to open up to it.
Yes,
that little step we have to make ourselves.
Yes.
And the rest is taken care of.
Yes. Yes, that's it. It's so beautiful, isn't it? Huh?
It is beautiful.
That's it.
Actually, it's always like this. It was always like this. But right now, there is a period where it's really being made easier. And so it makes totally sense to fully make use of that.
Yes, and you know, it feels even like there is a kind of a new infusion of what awareness is.
Mm-hmm. Right. Partly it's your own opening further, and partly really something like that is happening.
Yeah, yes. Can you repeat this, because your voice was cut? So part is my
that your experience opens up and you become more aware of it. But there is also such a thing happening, that an intensifying is manifesting now.
Yes, it's more subtle. Yeah, something is different. Huh? Consciousness is just like consciousness is shifting somehow.
I mean, consciousness is still consciousness. Energy is still energy. Love is still love. But in the quality of it, something is changing now that makes it easier to access the purity of it.
Yes.
Yes. So make good use of it.
Yes.
That's good. Yes. Wonderful.
Thank you. See you maybe next year or later.
Yeah, let's see whether we still can travel.
We see.
Yeah.
Ciao, Werner. Thank you.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye. Anybody would like to talk? You're welcome. I just said in this conversation, it makes sense to make use of the present situation. And it can manifest in many different ways, according to the person, where they are, how they are, what they are doing. But as a rule of thumb, it's always what I'm saying, it's always the best thing to do. To connect with the present and to relax and to open. But right now, it really, really is a pity if we are not doing that. Because right now, there is an energetic thing happening that makes it so much more profound and much more effective. It's not that we have to make tremendous effort to get somewhere and be very careful to be in the current. Just be here now, as good as you can. Remember to bring the attention to the present. The present is timeless. The present is not a point in time. That sense of present is timeless. Come back to that and relax and be open. It's worth the trouble. It's always worth the trouble, but right now, it's even more worth trouble than most of the time. Anybody would like to say something? Let's go. Since nobody wants to talk right now, let's go and see Arunachala. I don't know whether I can turn this around.
Yes.
Can you see?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah. Don't move, Werner. We see it only if you don't move.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Wonderful. Oh, that's good.
This is my movie studio. One table and two card boxes. Something to put my tablet on. Okay, anybody would like to say something, to ask something, to contribute something? You're welcome.
Yeah, you have shown us the Arunachala, and this view always create a warm feeling, something inside of our heart. What's the meaning of Arunachala for you?
Yes. With whom I'm talking? Can you
Udi.
put your camera on?
Yes, it's Udi.
It's you again. For those who have been here, it's always special to see Arunachala, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
No, it always creates something that it's unexplained in our heart, in our mind, no matter from what side we are viewing the mountain and the climbing. But what is for you?
You ask me, what is the mountain for me?
Yes, please.
Oh, I see. Of course, people have all kinds of ideas. For the locals, for the local devotees, they say Arunachala is not only the seat of Shiva, but it's Shiva himself. And of course, I can agree to that because Shiva means the essential reality. And so, of course, Arunachala is Shiva. Everybody, everything is also Shiva. Essentially, it's everywhere the same, but in manifestation, no doubt, there is no doubt about it. There are places where the power is manifesting differently. And this is one place like this. It's an intense place. And that's all I can really honestly say about it. It's an intense place, has been important spiritually for a long time, and it's important now, and I'm sure it's going to be important in the future because it has that tendency that if people who come here and really make the effort to have a good look at themselves, they are being very much supported by that effort. Some people come here and think Arunachala is going to do the whole job for them, but then somebody else is interfering. Please, apart from Udi, turn the microphones off, and if you want to talk, you can talk after. Udi, are you still here?
Yes, yes. I'm here.
Oh yeah, now you come back also to the picture. Somebody else has interfered. Again, Udi, this is not your picture, a hand and an eye. Or is this your basic photograph?
No, it's me.
Oh, that's yours. I see. And then when you are silent, then the picture comes in instead of your beautiful photograph. Okay, it's a power place. Of course, there are places where there is a lot of power, and they are doing the opposite. Of course, there are power places. The places where there is a lot of power, but they are doing the opposite. They have the tendency to pull the attention away from being, away from the silence, away from the self. And this place has the tendency to help you to connect with that. But still, even in a power place like this, you cannot simply come here and see it's happening by itself. You have to at least consciously open up to that. And again, remind yourself to come back to that. If you do that, you are very, very much supported. But then when you go away, you still can connect. You can remember Arunachala, and then even when you are in Israel or wherever you are, you can still connect with what Arunachala is manifesting.
Well, thank you very much. It's expressed a lot.
You're welcome. Anybody else would like to talk?
Hello?
Hello? Ah, there you are.
Can you see me?
Maya?
Yes.
Yes. Hello, Maya.
I can't see myself, but if you see me, it's okay.
Yeah,
I wanted to share. Okay. I wanted to share.
Oh, now
with
Udi is
you.
coming back. Udi, turn off your microphone.
No, this picture is not mine.
Oh, this picture was not yours.
No.
I see. I thought that somebody else is interfering.
Werner, that picture
Maya?
is of Maya. That picture is of Sridev. Who's Sridev? He keeps putting his picture on. Sridev.
Srini. So, Maya, can you come back? Can you talk? Mayachi?
Yes, yes, I'm here.
Ah, there you are again. Now we are here. Hello.
I wanted to share that the observing, it's so simple and not complicated like the mind think.
Yes.
The sense of being, it's so simple that
yes.
Sometimes I used to think that, wow, it's something much bigger, much far away, but hey, it's happening all the time. The observing, it happens, it's like, it's always there all the time, even in a deep sleep. It's never was born. And it's so simple, I want to share this with the others, that it's not so complicated and something above and something like a big mystery that we think it is. It's just not what we are thinking, it's just what it is. That's my...
Exactly. Not what we are thinking, just what it is.
Yes.
The expectation is that we do practice and there should be something completely out in space should happen, but no, what we are looking for is the simplest, and it's so simple that we cannot understand it. It just is. And the simplest practices, they are the most powerful ones if we have the patience to go on with them. The difficulty for the human mind with simple practices is that if not immediately big things are happening, then we think, oh, of course, a simple thing like this is not doing anything. So we go and look for complicated practices. But the most simple ways of going about it, they are the most powerful ones.
So just wanted to share and thank you again for all the satsang and what you are.
You're welcome. Okay. So I think we are through with the talking part for today. It seems not to have any urgent questions in space. So I'm going to turn off today. I had it and I will see whether it's still doing. Yes, I had the recording on. And I'm going to turn off the recording and I'm unmuting the microphones, and whoever wants can put their camera on and people can say hello and goodbye to each other before I'm closing the space here, the meeting space. Now I'm going to turn off the recording. It doesn't react, it doesn't come. What's happening?